How's it going, guys? LinuxDaily back with another distro review. Today's distro review, we'll be taking a look at Solus. Solus is designed for everyone, provides a multitude of experiences that enable you to get most out of your hardware. From our flagship Budgie experience to more of a traditional Mate. Yeah, it comes in a couple different desktop environments. So I downloaded the Gnome one again. The Gnome one. File size 1.5. Yeah, they're all 1.5 gigabytes. So system requirements, a blank DVD. I don't need any of that because I'm installing on a VM, a VirtualBox. Minimum of 10 gigs hard disk space, 2 gigs of RAM, a 64-bit processor. So those are the system, like the requirements in order for you to run Solus. Like I said earlier, I installed the Gnome one because I'm more used to that one than I am some of the other ones. But their main one, it appears, is the Budgie desktop. So without all that being said, let's go into a VirtualBox and get the initial install and review. Alright guys, we are booting Solus. So that was a neat little boot menu that I had going. So it's going to do its normal thing like this. And then now I'm getting the VirtualBox thing. And we should be in our desktop, I'm pretty sure. Yep, there we are, in our desktop. Like I said earlier, I installed the Gnome desktop. So that is what it booted into. And I'm pretty sure the install is, yep, right there. I'm going to go ahead and install it, not do anything live. So I'm going to pick English. Now I'm going to leave that like that. English US. Yep, it works. Select a time zone. Chicago works perfectly. And then automatically partition. Yep, I am going to automatically partition. If you want a dual boot, you're probably going to want to select this other option. But I have nothing else on my hard disk, so I'm going to do that. LVM is not needed. Hostname, VBox. Solus. Cannot spell anything today. So I want to install the bootloader, of course, and yep, that looks correct. Username, LinuxDaily. Very secure password. Okay, I guess it doesn't like that. Okay, I'll make it even more secure. And add now. Who will use this device? That is perfect. Click next. Review these options. English, set time zone, American Chicago, MS-DOS partition. All this looks correct. Install. And then click OK. So this is the install right here. So this might take a while, so I'll get back to you when that is complete. Alright guys, it looks like the installation is complete. I'm going to click the Restart Now button. Click that again. And I think it's going to boot from a hard disk. If not, I'm going to have to reset the thing. I have a concern that it is booting from the ISO image. Let's just wait and see. Yeah, I think it booted the ISO image. So I'm going to quickly remove the CD. Green is black right now. There we go. Alright, so here's our boot menu. I'm going to pick Solus 3.99999 because obviously they don't know how to make Solus 4 yet. So that was a really quick boot. Typical GNOME lock screen. Our very, very secure password this time because we had to include one number. So here we are at our background, our GNOME desktop. There's our software center. I have no idea what this is built off of, or if it's built off anything. It might be its own thing. Huh. I'll figure that one out in a little bit. So let's see what comes pre-installed. Let's take a look at this. GNOME 3.28. Yeah. There we are with that 3.9999. Because obviously they don't know how to make Solus 4. That's perfect. Archive Manager background. What is this? Lets you change the background. I am going to pick the wood grain, and then just that for the lock screen. So there we are with that. Let's go back to our Bluetooth, calculator, calendar, color. That's for your monitors. Date and time, deconf editor. I'm not quite sure how to use that, but it's there. Default applications, disk usage, disks, display, document viewer, files. I'm imagining this is the GNOME file browser. Looks like it. Firefox, GNOME MP3, gparted, which is nice to come pre-installed. Hardware, drivers, help, hex chat. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to use this. I'm pretty sure it's a chat client of some kind. I'm not seeing anything I recognize in there, so where was I? I lost my place. Hex chat. Okay, there we are. LibreOffice, mouse, touchpad. You get Thunderbird as your mail client, at least in the GNOME edition of it. Network, notifications. Yeah, all this looks pretty self-explanatory there. Let's go take a look at their settings. So we do not have any Wi-Fi. Yeah, there's that. You can turn on notifications. That's your lock screen notifications. You can turn those off as well. Region and language, self-explanatory. So there's not a whole lot of other options you can do with the settings, apart from like your backgrounds and all the initial device stuff. I'm talking about like your theming options. You have to probably install GNOME utilities. You get transmission as your file transfer utility, file downloader. Wacom tablet support, system monitor. GNOME Tweaks comes pre-installed actually. Yeah, that is pretty neat. Yep, it comes pre-installed. Just theme it up a little. Huh. I'm gonna keep it right there. That looks good. Fonts, power sound, all this stuff is there's your startup applications top bar. You can customize that. Adding that. battery percentage if you're running on a laptop, and that. So workspaces, I like to just keep it at 1. So that was Gnome tweaks. Let's go take a look at their software center real quick. Desktop software and theming. KDE, you can download that right from here actually. The Mate desktop, i3 desktop. That's neat how you can install it right from the software center. Now I have no idea how to install or update packages from the command line. I don't know what it's based off of. I've tried 3 of the most popular apps, Pacman and Yum. None of those worked. So here is your gaming section. Card games, role-playing, console emulators, puzzle games, action games, massive multiplayer games, free online multiplayer game, yeah, and then main games collection. So here's all your regular games, it looks like. Steam right there. Strategy games, yeah, makes a lot of sense. You can manage updates from here as well. Yeah, you could pick required updates, security updates, or like, pretty sure those are like feature updates. So that is neat how you can do that straight from the software center. Third parties, you can install Skype, PyCharm, which is a Python IDE, Sublime Text, which is just a text editor, kind of like Atom. Pretty sure I saw that up here. I did not see that up there. WPS Office Suite, RubyMine. Looks like the same thing as PyCharm, but for Ruby. So there's probably some there's closed source software in there. So that was the software center. Displays, tweaks, privacy settings. Yep, we looked at all of that. So Gnome is a heavier desktop environment. I have around 6 gigs of RAM installed on this, allocated to the virtual machine. It's currently using 21.5% of it. And the CPU is jumping from like 6 to 11%. That's not terrible, but you can tell it is a heavier desktop environment. So yeah, that was a quick look at Solus with the Gnome desktop environment. So Gnome with Solus. I don't know what it's built off of. It might be its own project. But if you are familiar with installing from a software center, it is not a problem. I would probably recommend this. Now, I don't know too much about it. I don't know how stable it is, but I would probably recommend it for a new user. But that's with me not knowing how stable it is, so keep that into consideration as well. So that was a quick look at Solus Gnome. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.